Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy PrimeTimePat. I'm back with another video. Thank you guys again for watching. Today we're gonna go over a video. This young couple find a place to stay where they're not spending that much money, and I love to see things like this because, in the times we're in right now, people are trying to save, and I suggest nobody does anything drastic to where they're gonna be in a cycle of having to work all the time and save money. The point is saving and trying to get out of that situation with thinking about retirement. And I did another video, I'm gonna leave it at the end, where the lady was living in her van, and you're gonna find little ways on how you can save and how you can live and not kill your pockets. The whole point, and it's even better when you have somebody that can do it with you, but you guys got to be on the same page, same accord. So let's go through this video.
And welcome to our tiny house, Raja. Raja was actually originally an Airbnb that we modified to make it into a full-time living tiny home. I work with Simplify Further, tiny house company. I've been working with them for about 3.5 years. This was originally built for an Airbnb, but this was also the second tiny house that we built. It's just sitting there. It was almost about time for me to renew another year's lease in my apartment. Would it be possible for me to rent it? The hours that I put into renovating it would go towards me living here, basically. And after those hours expire, then I'll just pay rent. It's still like a fraction of the cost of what I would have been paying if I had an apartment.
For me, moving into this tiny house, it was actually very unexpected. Once he got into it, I became more interested and looked at a bunch of videos. And I was like, wait, I want to do this with you. And then
And I love that. A lot of girls are not gonna they're not gonna go into that tiny house. That's why you need to find somebody that has common sense if you're with them. Because what I say a lot of times, man, you can just do it by yourself, and when you get fine, you get any woman that you want. But finding a woman that has common sense and sticks to the plan that you got, and y'all both going in the same direction, it's hard to find, but you better keep that person, because yeah, they'll pitch your finances in the dirt if you don't know no better. But yeah, so far the video was good. Yeah, a lot of people are doing this too. I always say that a lot of people don't need to be out on the streets or anything. They can get little places like this, or the city needs to invest, or the United States needs to invest in little places like this to put people in. I think it's just maybe the plot of land it has to sit on. That would be the issue, but yeah, let's continue.
he renovated this place, and 3 weeks later, we moved in.
The start of this renovation project, it wasn't ideal. So the walls, everything had to come out, basically down to the studs. We kind of had a clean slate to restart. Now we live in it, and it's actually only an 18-foot long tiny house, so it's not so much big of a space, but we maximized on every inch of this place. From the start of this project to the end of it, it took a little bit over 2 weeks. My family thinks that this is a great opportunity for me, especially to save money. I'm 24. My plan is
Living in a small space makes you not have a lot of items.
Oh, one important thing. He has his family that supports him. They didn't tell him to go and get no high rise. Hurry up and spend money on this and that. Smart man on the smart head on his shoulders. It even makes it better when you got family that's supporting your mission. It makes it very easier. So now he doesn't have to shut everybody out. They already know what he's into.
Items. I don't need a bunch of extra items to live well. So I think that's a really beautiful part of living in a tiny house.
Welcome to the outside of Raja. This is our 18-foot tiny home. It's also 8 feet wide. Siding, it's T111. It's okay, but it's not really great for maintenance because it does need to be repainted about every 1 to 2 years, depending on which climate you're in.
It's fine.
Because this is exposed wood, it should ideally be polyurethane about once every year. Other than that, there isn't much of a need for maintenance. For the outside, we have this metal roof, and it's nice, especially when it's raining. It's actually pretty soothing. One thing that we really wanted in this build was a lot of natural light. So we actually took plexiglass. I think it spans about almost 7 feet wide. This array of windows up in the loft. It's actually really nice. Because we're living in a tiny house, we like to maximize on all the space that we have. So with this outdoor space, it also makes it a nice addition to living in this tiny home. We have this clawfoot tub and this patio space over here, along with these beautiful banana trees that were planted, and they actually do produce fruit. This was originally all here as part of the Airbnb, and now we just use it whenever it's really hot outside and we don't want to drive to the beach or whatever. We just fill it up and take a nice bath. On the cold days that we have, which aren't very long, we have a hot water heater and also the space heater to keep us warm for the bathtub outside. All right, come with me, let's check out the inside. Welcome to the inside. Here we have our kitchen. Originally, because this was Airbnb, we had just hot plate, and now we have this induction stove. It's a 2-burner, which works really, really well, but we usually tend to make multiple preps at the same time. So we have Instapot, and we also have this 7-in-1 toaster oven. So with all these tools combined, we usually make something amazing. And the fridge, it's a slightly bigger one than that was originally in here when this was an Airbnb. We'd probably only use half of the space. When I was reconstructing all of this, I wanted to make sure that I maximized on everything. So I thought, what about if I use this wall as a spice rack? It gives us enough space to cook, and it's just far enough from the stove where nothing melts. So yeah, it worked out perfectly. Originally, this wall was actually a foot further back. The bathroom was actually only 5 feet wide, and now it's 6 foot wide. I had to move this wall a foot up and also reconstruct the whole wall, including reconfigure the studs and whatnot. Because we moved this wall a foot further up and decreased the kitchen length, we have a smaller kitchen, but it works just as well. It really didn't change much. We don't really need such a big kitchen. This butcher block countertop is actually, I think, 4 inches shy of 8 feet. Here we have a pretty big sink, and it's deep too. I definitely wouldn't go any smaller. I think the sink size is perfect when we wash our dishes.
I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit because he was talking about I wanted to see the rest.
A lot better.
Moving into a tiny house from a full-size house was definitely something I was worried about. I really wanted to incorporate a tiny house bathroom that felt the right space for me.
Beautiful.
Walking in, you first have the shower pan here. We put a bigger one in, and then we incorporated a bunch of different little nooks in here to allow for storage space. So in this shower, we have a storage space for shampoo, conditioner, soaps, which I really didn't want to be bumping into while taking showers. So Guranga actually built it in the wall. So that was really interesting. I really love that. We have another space here that allows for different storage, for makeup, different things like that. The extra foot in this bathroom really allowed for clothes, and that was a big worry for me. So we got to add different drawers back here. And one thing I really love is this window here because it opens up, so it kind of feels like another door, and it also allows for a lot of extra lighting. The 1 foot in this renovation added a huge difference. Coming in here before, I felt like I could hardly move around. It just felt squished. I didn't have enough storage, and so that extra foot, honestly, this is one of my favorite parts of the house. I sometimes come in and sit on the floor and do my homework when we have a bunch of people here, and I love it. And just as a woman who loves getting ready and using that space, it really adds a lot. All right, now let's go look at the bedroom. Welcome to the loft. This is where we have our bed. We have a queen size bed here. We love it. It has enough space for the two of us, and it also allows.
I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I like it. If I had something around me like that, I would go move there. I can do something like that. I have no kids, I'm not married. I can definitely do something like that. And you can take your girl, if you want to take your girl, if she's down for it, you do that too. But I like what they said, they're doing this till they say they're done with school, they're saving money. When they're done, they're gonna go and get some, go and purchase a house. I don't know why people can't understand that simple concept. Instead of killing yourself in bills or trying to look good for others, you're gonna make your process much longer than it should be. I like this couple, they're very smart.
Allows us to have our friends here because we have our TV that we like to pull out and have all of us up here. The thing about having a bed in a loft is you really want to have air circulation underneath it. Otherwise, it will get moldy if it's just on the floor. So we added a little bed frame here. It just lifts it up a bit, and then it adds circulation to get rid of that mold problem. Thankfully, we have a higher ceiling, so lifting the bed wasn't a problem for us. Making the bed for me isn't a problem. I don't hit my head or I'm not struggling because of that height. I really love it. The lighting is something that's really important just to add that coziness. So I got these curtains. I keep them closed mostly so that the light doesn't add heat up here, but they're thin, so it still has that natural light. Up here we also have some storage, which more clothes for me because I never have enough clothes. I really like the storage here.
I think tiny house living is very possible. Moving into one was pretty smooth for us. I could definitely see how it's an intimidating challenge, but I don't think it's nearly as hard as people may think it is.
In the long run, it's a lot cheaper than building a, big foundation home or so-and-so. So if you are really interested in it, save that little chunk of money and invest in your future. Living in a small space gives you the opportunity of just like living a little more freely in a sense.
Thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to...
There you go. I love this video. Guy's smart. He found a girl that's on the same path. It just makes it way much easier for him. I believe they're going to be doing big things in life just because of what I've seen. But yeah, guys, don't kill yourself if you don't have to. Stop trying to impress people. Do whatever you gotta do to save that bread, and then later on, you can start buying all the things you want. So, yeah, good video. I'm gonna leave the link to the full video down so you guys, because I know I skipped some parts. I didn't get the price of how much it was. Maybe it was in the beginning, or I'm not too sure. But I'll leave the link. You guys can go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and leave your comments. Tell me what you think about having living in these tiny houses like that. It's your boy PrimeTimePat. Till the next video. Peace.